Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're venturing into some really interesting territory where these huge literary quests, the epic journeys, they meet the author's own personal clock ticking down.
Yeah, it's fascinating how those things fuel each other. It's not just about the magic systems and the big bad guys. Sometimes it's about what's going on inside the writer's head.
Exactly. And that's what we've got here with this stack of sources. We're diving into the third volume of Stephen King's big epic, The Wastelands.
That's right. We've got the official synopsis, the argument, they call it, plus notes from King himself, which are surprisingly open about the existential dread driving him.
It really is candid. So our mission today, unpack how Roland's quartet changes this incredibly weird, dying world they're walking through and this kind of chilling parallel between Roland facing madness and King facing his own mortality.
That whole mean-ass patrol boy idea King talks about.
Yeah, that's the one. So let's start at the beginning with the seeds of this whole massive story.
Okay, so King tells us the idea first sparked way back like 1966, 1967. He was deep into Tolkien.
Right, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, but he deliberately held off. He didn't want to just write a Tolkien knockoff, He needed something different.
And he found it, didn't he, about 4 years later?
He did. 1970, he's 22 years old, walks into this nearly empty cinema in Bangor, Maine,
Okay.
and sees Sergio Leone's The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Ah, the light bulb moment.
Totally. He realized he could blend Tolkien's questing and magic with Leone's almost absurdly majestic Western backdrop, as he puts it. That was the key.
That blend is kind of the magic of the series, isn't it? The fantasy quest, but with this gritty Western feel.
Absolutely. And back then, when he first had the idea, he says he was full of this, youthful arrogance.
His words were pretty vivid, right? Smoking TNT and drinking dynamite.
Yeah, that's the quote. Just utterly convinced he had all the time in the world to write this huge thing.
You probably need that kind of confidence to even start something so ambitious. But then reality bites.
Right. The sources jump forward, and he talks about when that feeling shattered. He mentions this mean-ass patrol boy showing up.
His metaphor for time, mortality, basically catching up with him. Around age 39, he says.
And of course, that lines up with stuff people know about King's struggles with addiction, and then later that really bad road accident.
The one that changed how he walked? Everything.
Yeah. And that's where the whole feeling shifts. It goes from this grand, leisurely ambition to something urgent, desperate almost.
And that urgency got really personal after the accident. He talks about a fan writing to him.
Oh, yeah, the fan who was worried. The tower, it's tilting, it's falling. He'll never finish it now.
That must have hit hard. The idea that his own life was directly tied to whether this fictional tower would stand or fall.
It seems like it did. He says that worry, that plea, really pushed him back to writing it seriously around 2001.
He wanted to finish it before, quote, the bad patrol boy came for the last time.
Exactly. He explicitly mentions not wanting to end up like Chaucer with the Canterbury Tales or Dickens with Edwin Drood, these unfinished masterpieces.
So the reader's fear plus his own vulnerability kind of lit a fire under him. It became a race.
Absolutely. The whole project took on this weight of mortality.
Okay, so King's feeling that pressure. How does that translate to Roland in the Wastelands? We pick up right after the drawing of the three, and he's damaged.
He really is. First big thing. He's lost the first 2 fingers on his right hand, the shooting hand.
Thanks to those lobstrosities on the beach. So he's now, as the text says, strictly a left-handed gun.
Which is huge. It's not just a minor injury. It fundamentally changes who he is as a gunslinger. It's entropy made physical.
But this section of the story, right after that, it's also about them regrouping, isn't it? Learning new things.
Yeah, there's a period of relative calm. Susannah's getting used to her weapon, Roland's old gun, actually, in a shoulder holster, a Docker's clutch.
And Eddie Dean. He's learning to carve.
Yes, and this is fascinating. He does it secretly at first because his older brother Henry used to tease him relentlessly, call him a sissy, for anything artistic.
Wow. So he's reclaiming something that was shamed out of him as a kid. That feels really significant.
It is. It shows real growth.
Yeah.
And it leads to a shift in Roland, too.
How so?
Well, Roland, the ultimate loner, focused only on the tower, finds this unexpected capacity in himself. He actually likes teaching them.
Teaching Susannah to shoot Eddie, maybe life skills.
Yeah, mentoring them. He even wonders if his own tough teacher, Court, ever felt that same quiet satisfaction. He's becoming more than just the quest leader.
It's like that the quartet is actually becoming a kind of messed up family, which means Roland has to soften just a tiny bit.
Right. But just as that's happening, This huge internal conflict hits Roland hard.
Paradox.
The paradox. The sources say he's literally losing one's mind a piece at a time because he remembers two completely different pasts.
He remembers letting Jake fall in the mountains so he could catch Walter the Man in Black.
Yeah. But he also remembers saving Jake's life back in New York by causing Jack Mord, the guy who's going to push Jake into traffic, to die instead.
And both memories feel real. He can't reconcile them. The source calls the feeling unspeakable.
It's terrifying. I mean, if you can't trust your own memory, what can you trust? Especially in a world that's already falling apart. It's like reality itself is fraying.
And while Roland's fighting this internal battle, trying to push one memory down, Jake himself is getting pulled back into Roland's world.
Yeah, back in New York, Jake starts experiencing this weird doubling. Like he exists in two places at once. It culminates in him almost getting hit by a car again.
Which somehow triggers his passage back to Midworld, and he finds something important first.
Crucial. He finds a key in a vacant lot where a place called Tom and Jerry's Artistic Deli used to be. He feels this place has enormous talismanic power.
And the key? It's the physical object that connects the two realities.
Seems like it. It's the tangible link for the paradox. And with Jake arriving, the quartet is finally whole again.
Okay, so Jake's back, the team's together. Now they're really on the path of the beam, heading for the tower. And things get weird fast.
Yeah, they start going through these places Roland calls drawers, slang for like ruined places. He confirms they're the places of desolation, the wastelands proper.
And the decay isn't abstract. It's right there in their faces with the first big encounter. Shardik.
Ugh, Shardik, the giant bear in the Great West Woods, supposedly guarding a portal, but it's not some noble guardian beast.
No, it's described as ancient, massive, but diseased, covered in parasites.
Yeah, King really leans into the body horror here. When it sneezes, these clouds of parasites blow out. It gives off this deep, sick heat. It's just rotten.
And poor Eddie gets the worst of it. Drenched in, what was it? Hot snot filled with thousands of small white worms.
Yep. That image definitely sticks with you. It tells you right away this isn't a clean fantasy quest. They're fighting actual rot and decay.
The world hasn't just moved on. It's actively decomposing.
Exactly. But even in that decay, there's still prophecy, still signs. After the Shardik fight, Eddie has a vision.
In the campfire, right. He sees a bone.
Which turns into a key, a specific shape. 3 upside-down V's, a little S at the end. Then the key turns into a rose.
The rose, symbol of the tower.
And
the key.
He knows he has to carve it. Out of wood. Ashwood, specifically. So that carving skill he was hiding.
The one his brother shamed him for.
Yeah. It's not just a hobby now. It's directly linked to the quest. His personal journey is becoming essential to the group's survival. It's validating that part of himself.
That's great character work. Okay, so they have the key, or the idea for it. Where does the path take them next?
To the Great Road. There's even a marker stone. Traveler, beyond lies Midworld. They reach a little town called River Crossing.
And the people there give them a warning.
They do. The old folks in town, who are kind of their own little quartet, warn them about the city up ahead. Lud.
They call it an evil place. What's wrong with Lud?
It's torn apart by this endless, pointless war between two gangs. The Greys, who are older, and the Pubes, the younger ones. Generational warfare gone totally feral.
And they mention something else, don't they? Something fast.
Yes. Blaine the Mono. A super-fast, bullet-shaped train. That's the first hint of the technological horror waiting for them.
So they head towards Lud. What's it like?
Eerie. From a distance, the skyline looks like New York City. Jake's home.
Oh, that's got to be unsettling for him.
For sure. But up close, it's all decay. Broken skyscrapers, shattered windows, and this awful smell of wet decay. It's like a modern city that just collapsed into ruin and madness.
And getting into the city itself is dangerous.
Very. The bridge they have to cross is badly damaged. It sways like a ship in a mild swell. Just crossing it feels precarious, like walking a tightrope over chaos.
Okay, so they make it into this nightmare city. Where do they find Blaine?
They follow the beam, and it leads them to the cradle. Blaine Station, basically. And the contrast is jarring. After miles of ruin, the cradle is this shockingly clean white building. Pristine. It's surrounded by statues of the beam guardians, the bear, turtle, fish, rat, horse, dog.
And a big statue on the roof.
Yeah, a 60-foot golden gunslinger. It's this island of perfect cold technology in a sea of decay. Very unnerving.
And inside this clean building is Blaine.
Blaine the Mono. Not just a train, it's an AI. A mens non corpus, a mind without a body. An insane mind.
Insane, like malfunctioning.
Worse. The source material calls it a degenerative disease. Blaine is genuinely mentally ill. And lonely, apparently. Its only companion computer, Patricia, recently committed suicide.
A computer committed suicide. This world is seriously messed up.
Tells you everything you need to know about the state of things, doesn't it? Technology itself is despairing.
So what happens when they meet Blaine? I'm guessing it's not a friendly welcome.
Not at all. Blaine immediately threatens them, talks about maybe nuking the city, total annihilation.
Jeez, so what does it want?
Riddles. It demands they tell it riddles.
Yeah.
If they can entertain it, it'll give them passage on the Mono.
Passage to where?
Out of Lud, along the beam path towards Topeka. But the Mono is programmed to eventually crash there, and it travels at over 800 miles per hour. So, it's passage, but maybe to their deaths anyway.
Okay, riddles for their lives on a suicidal train run by a crazy AI. Standard Tuesday for this quartet, I guess.
Pretty much. And this is where Susannah really shines. They have to open a door using this weird diamond-shaped keypad.
The pump, right. The one that primes backwards.
That's the one. Roland's trying his gunslinger thing, focusing on the mechanics, but it's Susannah's mind that cracks it. She has this flash of memory.
Not her own memory, though.
It's complex. She remembers her father explaining prime numbers. His voice saying, "Prime number be like me ornery and for special."
That's oddly specific. How does it help?
She realizes the keypad puzzle is based on primes. She mentally eliminates all the non-prime numbers on the keypad, then pushes the remaining prime number pads in reverse order.
This pump primes backward.
Exactly. It's this amazing moment where her fragmented past, the voices in her head, her own intellect, it all comes together to save them.
That's fantastic. So they get the door open.
They do. They board the train. It's sleek pink, called the Barony Coach. And Blaine immediately activates the visual mode.
What does that do?
Makes the walls totally transparent. So suddenly they feel like they're just floating 70 feet up, looking down as Lud crumbles below them.
Oh.
And then whoosh, they accelerate, blasting out of the city into the real wastelands. This landscape described as distorted black glass, humped upward into spalls and twists. A poisoned, dead world.
Wow. What a cliffhanger for the end of the book. You really feel them plunging into the unknown.
Absolutely. So we've seen King's own race against time feeding into the story. We've watched Roland's quartet grow, face this paradox that threatens Roland's sanity, and navigate a world that's literally sick and dying around them.
Yeah, the mix of the Western, the high fantasy, the body horror, the psychological stuff, and now this insane AI on a death trip. It's quite a ride.
It really sets the stage for the next part of the journey. That blend of ancient myth and broken technology is just so potent.
Okay, so as they're speeding away from Lud on this crazy train, they still have Blaine's main challenge ahead, the riddle contest. But Blaine already answered one of Jake's riddles back at the station, didn't it?
It did. The riddle that sort of bought them their initial passage, Jake asked, "There is a thing that nothing is, and yet it has a name. 'Tis sometimes tall and sometimes short, joins our talks, joins our sport, and plays at every game."
A thing that is nothing, yet has a name and joins our games. It sounds simple, but maybe not to a purely logical machine like Blaine.
Apparently, Blaine found it clever enough. So
Yeah.
we'll leave you, the listener, with that little puzzle. What's the answer? What is this nothing that saved their lives, just for a moment, from the machine's madness?
Something to think about as they hurtle towards Topeka. Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.